All right. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody who's here, who's not. I'm about to go on my channel, make sure my audio is clear, and make sure you guys can hear me pretty well. Okay. All right. So I'm late as start on this video, and I feel very, very, very wrong because now we are about 25 days into the sun transiting Aries, meaning we have about 5 more days left until the sun will designate Taurus. Okay. Okay. So it started on March 21st and it will end April 19th. Um, today is April 14th. Okay. For anybody that's new, what I like to do, um, for anybody that's new, welcome. Anybody that sees this, welcome to my channel. What I like to do is I like repeating and I like going over small details before getting straight into my main messages and what I have for you guys while you guys are on my channel. Okay. I forgot to put animals, so that's what I'm gonna do. So, oh deities, Aries, pretty much. Okay. So elemental air, indefinite fire. Triple. Okay. So what is the sign of Aries? The sign of Aries is your spirit. The sign of Aries is your spirit. The sign of Aries is your identity. The sign of Aries is the sign of love. The sign of hate, pure hate. The sign of actionary hate. The sign of brothers, sisters. This is the sign of also death too. This is the sign of death too. Okay. The sign of brain, the sign of body. Aries is the sign of impulse. Okay. Aries is first. I'm gonna go first house. First house is how you how you defeat your enemies. What way did you gain notoriety? Or what way Did you beat them? The first house is how you would defeat your lawsuits. In what way did you go to court? In what way you succeeded in your lawsuit? Sorry, in your lawsuit. Okay. The first house, just like the third, but is really a first. It is your main mentality, but really your main focus. The first house is the mind, body, and spirit first, because what you do normally determines before you what you say and after what you say. The first house is personal outlook, personal input. The first house is how you make love, not how you and your partner make love. That's eighth house. How you what 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 is your specific pleasure of love, sex too. Okay. The first house is your partner's ex partners. That doesn't make sense, Eli. I know it doesn't. What I mean by that is stylistic wise, okay, or chromatic wise, as far as what is the style or simplicity that your partner will that your partner gains in every relationship that they notice that each partner may have. The first house is your partner's enemy. Okay. The first house is your judgment, how you judge. Yes, that's the seventh house. But the first house is unbreakable. It is more so a force to where it will not, the spirit will not graze over as far as convincing. The first house is first house is your personal irritation. The first house is how you are strong personally. How you are strong personally. That everybody see you. Uh, what what does everybody see your personal strength? The first house is the the shadow side of your strength. The first house is the unawareness of your true strength. Okay, unawareness of your true strength. That's what the first house is. Okay, specifically the sun in Aries symbol. Okay, so the element of Aries is fire. The day of the month is Tuesday. Okay. Colors is red, pink, gold, orange, white, and light brown. Not dark, but really light brown. Okay. Benefic planets. Okay. Its home planet is Mars. South Node is not really necessarily a planet, but I want to put it there because it's again it's something that needs to be there. Don't want to go into deep detail. Jupiter, okay. The sun, okay. Always the sun. The sun is the highest, and then the second is the Mars. Mars and the sun there. You have very very um very self-concerned person, very elevated person with people who have sun and Mars in the person. Very hot tempered, but not just hot tempered, but also can control what very control of their actions if you have that person. The moon is very questionable since there's so much tension within the first house. Okay, malefic, 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 malefic planets is Venus, Saturn, and again I want to put something like that. I want to put North Node in there, and then also what I want to do is I want to say it's good and bad. Again, it brings a lot of challenge with both ways of the moon. Okay, moon can go both ways. It really depends. Also too, what household does the moon be in? If the moon is in a negative household, it's going to create tremendous amount of tension without waiver, especially if it's in a fixed house. Lucky numbers is 1, 5, 9, 12, 24, 31, and 15. Okay, I made those numbers up, so anybody who's a blog, don't feel really too much type of ways about that. Okay, the sign type, cadent. And what is cadent? Cadent means that it goes first. Okay, it has to go first. Okay, cadent is the main focus. It's the reason. Okay, the first house is your personal reason, the reason why you do things, and the reason why you cannot break of why you do the things you do. That is the first house. It's because there's so much personification on people who personally have personal things that they cannot break. They cannot break within their self confidence or self worth. The first house is step brothers, step sisters. Okay. The first house too is complexion, and I can tell you why is that. The first house is DNA. First, second, and eighth house is really all DNA. Okay, and fifth, of course. Okay, the animal is ram. Okay, what else? We could put yellow for color, like a very solid yellow, because I see the background too. Okay. The deity is Aries. I'm also Aries is the god of war. Also, first house is war. First house is how you fight. First house is military. Duh. crazy. Okay, first house is military, just like seventh house. Okay, deity. I just said that Aries. Okay, I forgot the other one, and that's really my fault. But we're just gonna stick with Aries. Okay, which is the god of war. Okay, first house. Okay, so here's the sun in Aries. The interpretations. Okay, body strengthening. Body strengthening is possible during this transit. So yes, you have more. You have way more opportunity to evaluate yourself and your own self actions and self inflictions during this time. Do not take this lightly. This is a very bright. This is a very bright potential of this. Just being aware of yourself and of course your partner. Okay, if you have a girlfriend, okay, if you have a boyfriend, this speech is 100% possible with Sun and Venus, or Venus in general, inside of Aries. It creates high opposition, meaning high the viewpoints that you or your partner will not, cannot, and do not, and don't want to understand with Sun or Venus inside of Aries. I just did a Venus video, so I know Venus just did retrograde, just like Mercury, and went back into Pisces, 12th house. But it will regain momentum and get back inside um Aries. I'm 25 days late, meaning most of these experiences, what I just said, was already dictated, but there's 5 days left, so it's purely not done until, of course, the 29th or the 0 degree of towards Mars, or it's 29th. It is a strong possibility of physical altercations could happen during the transit. Again, this is a sign of impulse, or more so, act action. Okay, they more so are busybody. Okay, and more so not for no reason. More so not just a, I want to say personal gratification, but I more so want to say personal achievement. Okay, first house is personal achievements. How did you win, even if it's in a negative connotation, towards the seventh house, towards people, how they see you? How did you win your fights? And fights can be in different ways: psychological, physical, rap, non rap, music, art, uh, cutting the grass, um, watching movies, reacting off of videos. What? How did you become a better version of yourself? This is the first house interpretation. How are you gaining more importance in your battle against self? Okay, meaning Sun in Aries has a tendency to have the energy to self transform into multiple versions of self. See, first house is mistaken a lot because first house is always about um everything, like motion. Okay, meaning. First house is meaning, especially personal meaning. Okay. Hmm. First house is a lot. Okay. Anyways, it is a strong possibility of physical. Oh, I said that. Domestic disputes with legal teams could be engaged during this time. So if you have to go to court for anything, especially female or, of course, male, multiple males, specifically since Venus is there, could 100% take place. Okay. Buying of new jewelry, new clothes is possible during this time. So with Venus, when Venus was there and the sun, see the sun is again, sun is very, very enormous. Therefore, even when it's close, even when it feels like you can tell, whew, you can tell sometimes. Like for instance, right now, you can feel the energy of you can feel the tethering energy of the sun transiting to the sign of Taurus, just off of this feeling, the necessary meaning of the days go on. Okay, Sun and Aries. So what did I find? Okay, so I said buying majority. So with this placement, it's just sort of like a Venus and Aries type of thing, but Sun and Aries loves it too, and here's why. Okay, so the seventh house is away, correct? What is seven houses away? Not only is it people, but it's clothing. Okay, it's clothes. Okay, and not only that, it's how people see you. Okay, see, Sun Aries sometimes, if debilitated, confidence will have to reside in other people, meaning viewpoints is necessary of judgment. Okay, with the Sun there, it gives enormous amount of confidence of stuff. More so why I say clothes and jewelry, because the opposite sign always, always wants to understand the other sign. Meaning, I say this all the time, that your opposite sign is one and the same. And you can feel it sometimes. Your necessary counterpart. Sometimes with Sun being in Aries, seven houses away, the opposite sign, they will have to contract some sort of um, self development to reign superiority. Okay, and with there's no better way. Venus homes Libra and Taurus. There's no better way to do it with using the characteristics of Venus material. See, when the transiting this sign, when this sign gets material, there's no there is no turning back for the sign. Meaning obtaining obtaining this. See, once they obtain something, or with this transit, once you obtain something, you will know that you can do it again. You will have it again. You can have it again, and there will be nothing to stop you from buying that new car, buying that new drug, buying that new clothes. Because if you lose it, you know you can gain it again. And sometimes those actions are exemplified by humans. when you lose something that is very close to us, we realize that there are a million different ways you can regain something again. The first house is all about gaining for self. Why do you need why do you need yourself? Okay. Sun Aries, um, it it consumes masculine energy, meaning its whole necessary energy field is to put necessary steps into showing who they are. Nothing more, nothing less. What makes you you. The first house is your childhood, by the way. But again, I kind of want to go back to this jewelry and clothes because people don't see it. People don't see how materials can kind of mean something. When you buy new clothes, when you buy new shoes, when you buy new jewelry, it is it is it is example it is a mass example from God of achievement. Okay, it is the necessary thing of engagement when you do when you look a certain way. Okay, loss of money is 100% possible during transit, specifically a large sum amount. First house has a lot to do with risk. Sun in Aries will have a fixated mind of doing things that either the seventh house, if you have a nice polarity, it will take over. It means you will not get over, you will not lose a large sum, you will not, the risk will not be worth the reward, meaning whatever plan you have. Okay, masculine, I don't know why I have that. Masculine bonding is highly favored during this transit. So if you have male figures, if you have boys, and I'm talking about your young boys, like brother type figures who are who is around your age, because the first house is counterparts around the same age. Okay, 3 years apart around the same age, 4 years apart around the same age, 5 years apart. Mm, that's still around the same age a little bit. Okay, pushing it. It's almost getting to Saturn, but it's still almost around the same age. But if you're a year apart, 2 years apart, that is definitely first house. The first house is also how you see realism. Okay. New engagement of hairstyles are possible during this transit. So, more so, the first house has a condition to change if 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 right, it has a condition to either stay the same for a long condition of time due to self knowledge or self acknowledgement of how the how you are or who you are. You will keep the same hairstyle if you have it, especially um if you have of course Saturn in there, it will keep the hairstyle in the same thing. But if you have it moved or if it's like again like a return, you're going to style or you just it's just in general. you're going to want to change the beautification of your hair or your head. Okay, there's a possibility new engagement. Oh, there's a possibility of new love encounters during this time. Um, Sudden bursts of confidence or self-assurance is possible during this time, and also a sudden burst of energy is possible during this time. So you have a high focus, and if not high focus, you will have a lot of cooped up energy to where you must do the things you favor. This is all about self pleasure. Also, that is personal, and not just self pleasure down there. Ha ha ha. Laugh. But I'm just kidding. But I'm just talking about self pleasure in general, doing things that you know you like doing that makes you feel good. Okay, it's all about feeling good. It's all about you. Um, Sudden bursts of confidence or self growth. Male counterparts are more in need of attention during this time. I would say physical sports or abilities or some type of physical rush is possible during this time. Facial or head injury. So, oh yeah, be very wary with the sun Aries. For main reasons, it could cause an injury to head, an injury to body. Okay, and even if it's not, it will cause a buff in body. Okay. Promotion is for work. Promotion. Actually, this is definitely a lyric talk right here. Promotion for work is definitely possible during this time, or earning of income during partner is definitely possible during this time. Okay, separation through marriage or marriage in general is possible during this time. See, with seventh and first house, it can go either way because seventh house that must have the seventh house has that polarity to try to keep things fair, and first house has that polarity to know you, to know what you shouldn't be talking about, to know how you should say things, to know how you say things, to know what you mean, to know how you mean it. That's first house. The gratification of the first house is keeping it to yourself, meaning only you believe in that, only you do that, only and you know, and confidently, first house owns up to that. The seventh house keeps it in balance, meaning people can people first house doesn't need it, but also need it to sometimes hide behind that focus of not just myself. It's not just about myself, it's about other people, regardless. Too. Also too, keeping that in mind when you have a lot of first house. Um, if you have a lot of first house plants, because you're going to be so highly focused on yourself, it's like a point of view of others is blind, or really your significant other, okay, or the shadow side of your own will be blind, okay. Always keep ahead on your shadow side, specifically just in general other people and your marriage partner, okay. There's a sense of getting to know your partner's shadow side characteristics, or better yet, their childhood actions. So with Sun Aries, it is a good high potency to know people's childhood memories, childhood focuses, child, and just their the actions they encounter or gain as they were a kid, more so 0, more so 11, 11 months, 12 months years old, 1 to 3 after that. So I would say 6 months to 3 years old, 3 to 4 years old. Okay, more so after 4, because that's when you kind of gain a little bit of more so knowledge of baby self. Okay, the first house is baby, because it's birth. The first house is birth. It's the first thing of birth. It's the because every day is birth, just like the sun. Okay, the sun and of course Aries, the first house. Okay, Any sense of self is recovered during this transit, or more so as self reconciled with childhood self actions is manifested during this time. So again, there will be things that people notice about you, the people that that they might point out that you may have not noticed about yourself, or it just really depends. Okay, they just might point that out in general of what makes you you. Okay, and that's always a plus in general when the sun is in Aries. The sun in Aries, exaltation of one's maximum energy is exemplified. Sibling engagement is possible. Also, father's gifts may be displayed within oneself. Okay, your brother's gifts that they share towards you or you inherit. Okay, your father's gifts that he inherited to you through DNA, through blood, through sweat, tears, through talk, through actually being there, through not being there. To be honest, too, Sun in Aries, if father is not there, father, it seems like you will hone it in, and I'm talking about, of course, the 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 15 degrees there, or the first degree there, like the real first degree there. Okay, father, if father's not there, father self, father will be there with 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 things you do. Okay, father, if father is not there, which I believe if you have Sun in Aries, father will be there. Okay, father is there for a while. Um, uh, or if father's not there, it's separation of general magnitude of importance of job. Okay, something with job, or if not, something with another partner. Okay, but if father's still not there, you will have uncomprehensible magnitude of respect for father regardless, because father's spirit is so strong within you if you have Sun in Aries. Okay, benefits of father's strength is possible and noticeable during Sun in Aries transit. First, also firstborn may be undergoing a serious breakthrough, dealing with stuff in this transit, and I think I think that's it. Sun in Aries, peace. I'll probably make house 1 through 7 soon. Peace. And then